Hey guys, it's Soncerae here. So I just got out of a relationship, and my relationship was short too. It was only like 6 months, and we have a son together. I know, right? After trying all those years to have a baby by a better man and it didn't work, now I end up pregnant by this dude. Really, universe? Like, you gonna do me like that though? You gonna do me like that?
Excuse me as I kiss the sky.
It's okay though. Like, the best parts of this man my son has, so I get to take the good parts of my son's father with me everywhere I go. The things that I loved about my son's father that don't have nothing to do with no negativity, no sex, no bad habits, no exes, rumors, drama. No drama. He keep them issues and shit with him. My son got all of the things that I loved about my son's father, the personality, the positive stuff. So it's amazing. So I didn't leave the relationship with nothing. A lot of people will classify that relationship as a failed relationship, but to me, I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about people who just got out of a relationship. Now, when I met him, he was supposedly separated for 2 years. Me, I had just got out of a relationship with a guy, and we had only been together for maybe a month or two, but we had been friends for 10 years. So when I met my son's father, I had been out of my relationship for 2 months. And again, my son's father had been separated for 2 years. He wasn't legally divorced. And yes, his ex-wife confirmed that they were supposedly separated, okay? We had a couple of conversations. So I'm all in the clear. I'm thinking the relationship is amazing. So I'm all in the clear. I'm like, okay, she said she moved on. He's moving on with me. We good, She trying to invite us to do double dates and shit while she with her man and I with him. I'm like, okay. They were together for 14 years. So I'm like, if you with somebody for 14 years and y'all divorce, and the divorce is like a mutual agreement, being friends might be, something that you have to do, especially if you have kids together. Now, they didn't have kids, but he supposedly had some type of relationship with the children that she had from a previous marriage. That's a whole nother video. I used to ask him all of the time when we were together, like, are you sure? Like, are you sure that you're ready to move on with me? Are you sure? He's like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm like, you sure you don't need some time to get over your marriage? No, I'm okay. Me and you can move forward. Let's do this, blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't until after I got pregnant, he was like, oh, I'm just not realizing. I'm not ready. I'm like, nigga, you gonna say this after I get pregnant? Oh my God, like, your timing sucks. But before we officially broke up, we did have a lot of conversations where we spoke about what he needed to do in order to grow. And he felt like he hadn't been in enough relationships to know what he wanted in a woman. And I'm looking at him like, so you just played with my life like that. And it was very hurtful, I remember having a lot of conversations with people, and people would post this in my comment section online. Like, why would you, date someone who is separated? I would never do that. They can't be trusted and blah, blah, blah. And they're not really, separated. Wait till they're legally divorced. And my thing is, 2 people can be legally divorced and still fucking with each other. Just because you sign that paperwork don't mean you stop fucking. I mean, come on. If you meet someone who just got out of a relationship and it's been under 6 months, or if someone tells you that they've been separated for 2 years but they haven't signed documents, you got to start thinking to yourself, 2 years? So in 2 years of you being separated, no one has actually filed for divorce. And if someone tells you, oh, I just got out of a relationship, I only been out of my relationship for 2 months, and they've been in like this long-term relationship, maybe you shouldn't get in a relationship with that person. I know for me, I shouldn't have took those 2 word for it. I shouldn't have trusted them 2. But because I wanted to be so open-minded and free, and I tried to put a lot of trust into these 2 people, I was thinking that the relationship was gonna go smooth. I was thinking that the friendship between her and I was gonna eventually go smooth. But let me tell you something, your instincts ain't never wrong. And my instincts was telling me something was wrong with both of them, and I didn't want him talking to her first. He had to literally talk me into the idea of him continuing to be friends with her. I was like, you cannot sit here and be just friends with this woman. Like, this is not gonna work. Like, y'all was together 14 years, now you done moved on with me. I'm gonna need for you to not talk to this bitch. I also think you could do how I did. I got out of my relationship and I waited. Like, I was 5 months pregnant when me and my son's father broke up, but I waited before I started dating, because I know women who had a boyfriend by the end of that pregnancy. Like, by the time their son was born, They had a boyfriend. You know, I know some women like that. I'm like, girl, how you move on so quickly? Ain't no way in hell I would have done that. I know a girl who got a baby that's like a couple of months older than my son, and she done had 2 boyfriends since her and dude broke up. I'm like, girl, how you do that? Like, I'm barely working on the first one, and my son is a year old almost. Like, he'd be a year old next month. I'm still struggling with that. Because my thing is, I need time before I move on to another relationship, and people don't take time to chill first before they move on. Heal from your last situation so you don't bring your last situation into your new situation. When you do that, you affect other people's lives. My son's father played with my life by not cleaning up his mess from his previous relationship, and he brought that relationship into our relationship. I know I've said this before, but he and our relationship was amazing, and the only time we have an argument is if it had to do with her. Every single time, like, our relationship would be going smooth, and then suddenly some drama from her. She calling, playing games with Facebook, getting mad because family posting pictures of us 2 together on Facebook. It was just like, what is going on with this woman? Like, I thought y'all was just friends. Why is she calling you upset? And it just was like, man, the whole situation, it was just weird. And so, you know, had he took his time to clear out that, then our relationship probably would have ended up being better, because we got along any other time. Had I just looked at the situation and been like, you know what, maybe their situation is not fully over, and maybe I should just excuse myself. You know, that's what I should have did. So ladies, you know, if you're with someone and they just got out of a relationship only a couple of months ago, or maybe they claiming that they're separated and they need to file for divorce and haven't, just give people the side eye. You know, even if someone is just freshly divorced, give them some time. Like, don't date someone freshly divorced if you're looking for someone to commit to or start a future with, because not every situation like that ends well. We know some couples out there who was dating somebody when they were separated, and they end up marrying those people that they dated while they were separated with another person. You know, we've all experienced that, but that is a person who is an exception to the rule. Not everybody's marriage ends the same. Not everybody's relationship starts the same. But you don't want to take the risk. You know, that's a high risk gamble right there. And I took that risk. And that's why it's easy for me to be like, yo, don't do that, man. Protect yourself from people. I'm not telling you to be afraid, but not only have common sense, just don't give the benefit of the doubt, and don't fall in love with potential. People can make all types of promises to you, and they don't always necessarily mean well. So just remember that, okay? Have vision and stay focused. Namaste.
There are a number of inappropriate videos being published on YouTube about Soncerae with malicious intent. These videos violate YouTube's community guidelines. We ask that you report any content that promotes or condones violence against her because of her race, gender, age, economic status, sexual orientation, or relationship status, as well as content that incites hatred or harassment. If you see any misleading descriptions, tags, titles, or thumbnails that use her name, image, footage, or voice in order to increase views, please report the content. Things like predatory behavior, stalking, threats, harassment, intimidation, invading privacy, revealing other people's personal information, and inciting others to commit violent acts all break YouTube's community guidelines. Thank you for watching. We appreciate your subscription.